All right, we've got that going. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I will actually put my name on here for sometimes when I log in, it puts E-Rife instead of my actual name. I guess E-Rife is my name. But okay, let's go ahead and get started. Do our quick check-in as always. Please let us know, who are you? Do you have any questions, comments, and concerns? And the question of the day, what is your favorite scent? I have a couple that come to mind. So I'll let you, for an example, I love the smell of gardenias. So Jackie, I'll have you and your team I see at the table go ahead and just get us started, and then I'll do the tiles of folks that are on our screen today.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie Parkins, UniServe Director, work for Colorado Education Association, so here to support the Clear Creek team. I don't have time constraints. I apologize that my voice is as scratchy and squeaky as it is today, but it's out of my control. You can blame my husband, I do. And then my favorite scent, I would say, are lilacs. I think that people should get a tax break for planting lilacs in their yards so that I can smell them when I walk my dogs.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackie. Just so you know, I have like 50, 60-year-old lilacs in my backyard. The old lady who used to live here planted. So they're blooming right now. It's amazing.
Oh, that's so great.
Come on over. All right. Melanie, or I think that's Melanie right next to you.
It is. Hi.
How are you?
Melanie Leatherwood, paraprofessional, Clear Creek Middle and High School. And I have to echo Jackie's sentiments about lilac.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll have a party over. You guys just come over, okay?
That sounds great.
Who's next?
Holly or Jill?
You guys decide.
My name is Pelly Fisher, and I'm on the bargaining team. I'm the president of CCCEA this year. I don't have any time constraints now that I'm here. And I do love gardenias. I used to have them in my garden when I lived in a warmer climate. But I like anything woody and sagey too, when I'm thinking of the site.
Jill Stansberry, high school science teacher, VP. I feel like I can't say gardenias, but that is my favorite flower. So I'm gonna go weird and say that I actually like the smell of gasoline because my dad owned an auto body shop when I was little, and it reminds me.
Awesome. Love it. Thanks, Jill. Hugh, I'll turn it over to you next.
I'm just thinking about what Jill said about the diesel and the gas smell and all that good stuff. Because I love smells in general, appropriately, of course. I love the smell of lilacs, especially in the spring. And there may have been an incident in Boulder this last weekend that involved The Cover of Darkness, a pair of scissors, and 2 Quambeck sisters. And I will say no more, but my house smells really good right now. That's all I'm going to say.
We won't rat you out, Q, don't worry.
And I just realized I said that in front of our district legal counsel. That may have been a poor tactical error on my part.
Brett won't rat you out either, don't worry. Holly, how are you?
I'm good. Holly Harlan, CFO for the district. I'm gonna have to say lilacs, but lavender as well.
Thanks, Holly. Robin, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Robin Payne, Human Resources Director for the district. I don't have any time constraints. I'm having a plumber here, so well, it's a friend, a good friend doing some work for me. So if you see somebody walking in the background, but absolutely my favorite scent is rose.
You know what I don't like is that my neighbors ride 4-wheelers down my street constantly. That's what that noise is. So that's what I don't like. But that's, a different story. They love to ride 4-wheelers in the city up and down my street. But maybe Brent, we can work on that, right? Last but not least, Brent, how the heck are you? I see you got a haircut.
Hi, I did. Thank you. I'm fine. I guess I'm going to say coffee.
Sure.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. I didn't miss anybody, did I? Anyone's team? Okay, good. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here as always and doing our quick check-in just to see how everybody's doing and learning from one another along the way. I know we have kind of how we've been doing before, trying to split up 90 minutes for certified conversations, 90 minutes for classified. I believe today's our last day though, correct? If my calendar is right, or maybe you're meeting without me, but this is what I have on my calendar. So I know we have basically our outstanding item around compensation, correct? Because we've kind of reviewed professional development and work days. Those have been resolved. So it's just down to comp, correct? Okay, good. Guys, I can't read my scribble scrabble. Yes, Q?
So compensation, yes, but I think we also, unless I'm forgetting something, I think we need to nail down some of the language on the CBA for classified, or at least, kind of agree on what the next step is for that. So.
Yes, thank you for that. I knew I was missing one. It's right here in my notes, but all right. So CBA classified, but conversation around compensation for both then. So we'll kind of start. Where is there a burning desire to start with certified, classified? You tell me.
Well, I'm going to ask our CCCEA team if they would be okay with this, which goes against what I've said in the past, like, let's keep it separate. But I'm wondering if it does make sense for the sake of what we're doing tonight to do, instead of doing a 90 and the 90, because we're getting so focused on what we need to do, if instead we do certified and classified compensation together, and then the CBA is separate. I don't know if it really needs to be 90 and 90. I wonder if we step through it and see what makes sense. So I wonder what CCCEA would, if they'd be open to that or not. Okay.
I see thumbs in that room, so I think we're good to go.
Okay. And then along with that, I'll put it out there, and I'm going to apologize up front. I need my team for about 7 minutes before we go into stuff, because I'm smushing things together, and it can be really quick, and I want to respect that we've got folks in the room, but I just need them for a few minutes. And
That works for me.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, we will reconvene. Is 7? 7's good number? Or
Yes. Or let's say 4:21. Give me 8 minutes.
4:21. Perfect. All right. I will see you guys in 7.5 minutes. All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I hope I didn't leave you in the waiting room for a minute. I just realized that you were in there.
It's totally okay. I was making up some songs and some poetry, writing poetry. Just kidding.
Well, if you did write a poem, you can share it with us later, Q, okay? All right. After our quick caucus, where would we like to go around our conversation about combining the compensation conversations with the certified as well as the classified folks?
Yep. So I'll summarize that and provide some thinking around it as well, and then invite my team to jump in with any additional information or details that I'm missing per se. So we know that when we ended, I think last week, we had proposed 5% plus steps for certified, and I think there was a counter proposal for 12.5. There was also a counter proposal for classified for a flat rate, $3.50 flat rate increase plus a step. What the district's prepared to offer is for certified a 6.25% COLA plus a step, and classified 7.25% COLA plus a step. And just transparently, in order to get to that number, we are recommending to the board a reduction in the amount that we will transfer to capital reserves. We want to be really thoughtful about that, so we're not creating more deferred maintenance issues without getting into a ton of that. What it really means is we've got to be cognizant moving forward so that we don't create things that we can't later fix and we have to replace. But I know that's not key and interesting to people. I just want to be clear that's part of how we're paying for it. I am also recommending to the board that we do a lower percentage increase for our administrators because we don't negotiate administrator salary as part of this process. I won't get into the details on that, but I will tell you that it is lower. And we're doing that really to acknowledge, I think, what was elevated at one of the meetings, that I love what I heard, that everyone works really hard in our district. We love and respect all of our educators on all the different job groups. Heard and acknowledge that maybe the gaps are a little bit bigger when it comes to certified, more so than some of our admin. And they work really, really hard, and everyone deserves a raise. I have to be careful when I say that, but want to acknowledge that. And then also want to acknowledge that we are absolutely looking to recruit and retain good educators across all job groups, but it's been a little bit trickier with some of the classified positions. So that was the thinking around what I would call differentiated scenario. I think the other things that are really important as we're raising it forward that has been, a little bit hand-wringing is we want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up, and I know CCCEA does as well, to be really conscientious moving forward, and that we have been so fortunate to have received unexpected dollars. I know it's created our bigger reserves. We've gone into lots of detail around that. I feel like we've got a good shared understanding of why we're there, and we're committed to spending it down over time, thoughtfully, cautiously. So one of the things we looked at was, with this raise scenario, could we sustain it for a number of years so that we're not putting ourselves into a risky situation? And that was really, really important. So, and I think it's important to call out, because while the 15% that was initially put out there, and folks are like, wow, that's really big. Is that what everyone deserves? Absolutely. This is a state funding problem as well as a national problem. So just know that that number was heard. The respect and the love from the board as well as district leadership absolutely exists in our hearts, because people deserve to be paid a lot more. I acknowledge that. So I'm going to leave it at that and ask my team if they've got anything they want to add in or questions or what have you.
I don't have anything. I guess it's just see what questions and you all have on that proposal.
Go ahead.
Q, you said that you wanted to make sure it was sustainable for a number of years, and I'm just curious if you had actually put a number on it for this particular counter proposal.
Yeah, and I may defer to Holly on this as we're doing all the modeling. She's our true money expert. I believe we were close to 8 years on that, but we've got to be really thoughtful in how we're it's so we can't see far into the future. We know what we know right now. We modeled that out at 8 years, not knowing what things might happen in terms of like the BS factor being bought down, school funding changes, our enrollment changes. We expect our enrollment to go up, but we have to budget based on what we know right now. And I'm sure there were a few other assumptions that go into that number as we're thinking about it.
Yeah, Jill, to answer your question, it's basically we can sustain that proposal for 9 years using reserves. Then we have to look to other funding sources. And that assumes $800,000 transfer to capital reserves.
Each year, 800,000?
Just for next year, it's going to change.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Can I ask what the original planned transfer to capital reserves was?
1 million.
Either do you have any other questions about this proposal? Okay.
I'm about to process it a bit more. I'm thinking, we're thinking.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure we get any questions we have answered before we pop into a caucus.
Is the 800 from the reserves to cover? So it's just to cover the salary? Because
So
when
go
I look
ahead.
it out, it's about, it's less than 800,000, at least for certified in ESP, certainly.
So it takes 800,000 out of reserves.
To pay for the increases.
So 800,000 separate, that's coming out of reserves next year. So to cover this proposal, it's going to be $265,000 roughly each year out of the reserves. And we can sustain that for 9 years.
Okay. So I think we're going to pop into a caucus and kind of talk this over and crunch some numbers. And I'd say let's plan for, this might take a little minute, especially because we're talking to a bigger group today. Let's plan for 30. And if we come back sooner, we'll let you know. Q, is it okay? I'll text you and Emily. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. See you guys in 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Hey, everybody online, we're going to turn off this live stream and there will be a new one that starts when we come back. So watch the page.